Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the third session of the Flawless Communicator. My name is Titi Omole, and I'm the founder and CEO of Cause for Children Limited. We are not for profit. I think I've introduced myself to you, but I'll say it again just for sake of those that are joining us for the first time today. I'm a project manager and I've got experience in business and data analysis within the IT industry. I am the CEO and also a founder of Cause for Children Limited, where our mission is to empower youth to thrive. So I welcome you to the third session this afternoon. If you look in the photo there, you would see me shaking with a handshake. That's me there. Giving a handshake to MP Mr. Stephen Timms. I'm sure you probably have heard of him. If you haven't heard of him, go and look him up. He's a reputable leader in the society. Why am I saying this? It's because we have several initiatives to support our young people. So one of them is the True Little Hero Awards, where we recognize efforts and achievements of young people in the UK. And we also go international as well. And we're going to open up our line for nomination in August. So watch out for information. If you know a young person that is doing very well, you want to recognize them, then this is an opportunity for you to nominate them. Another initiative we put in place to support our young people is mentorship and training. One of them is the one that you're attending, which is the Flawless Communicator. We've had one on leadership, and we have another one coming up after Flawless Communicator on something different entirely, but definitely will be useful for you as you continue your life, growing up. Can we move on to the next? Yeah, thank you, Juliana. Now, just a little bit about myself. I've mentioned that I'm CEO of Cause for Children Limited, but I'm also an author. And that's a copy of my book there, Liz and Lass, The Secret Codes of the Magnificent Book. It's an amazing book. It's lovely. It's interesting. It's good to read, 16 and over. So even if you're 18, you can enjoy the book. It's on Amazon. You can get it paperback or Kindle. Visit Amazon. You'll find the book there. May I also implore you to please visit our website, www.causeforchildren.co.uk, or you could go to www.truelittlehero.com. Go and find out more about what we do, and visit our social media platform. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and YouTube. Before we start, before I hand over to Juliana, I just want to pass on this message once again. Please, it's important that when you're signing in, you use your first name and last name. We've had people signing in with their first name, and you've seen like 5-6 people having the same first name. That is not good for us for security and protection of you. Secondly, people signing in with their phones, not bothering to put their names in. It's not good enough. We wouldn't want to see Juliana's iPhone, Juliana's iPad. No, we want to know who Juliana is. So please do that. So but bear with me if I put you out of the group, it's because you have done that, and you can sign in again, use your full name. I also want to announce to Siddiq and Joshua that they'll be presenting their elevator pitch this afternoon. So get ready. And thank you so much to those of you that have submitted your homework already. I'm very grateful for that. I will hand you over to Juliana to continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Titi. Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you've all had a really lovely week, and I hope you're enjoying the Flawless Communicator. This is session 3, sadly, because we're coming to an end in the next couple of weeks, but we have an hour or just less than an hour together today, and I hope you've got your pens and paper or your Word notepad up on your computer, because it's a really important session. And before we start, Just to reiterate the email address, which you can see on your screen, if you want to get in touch with Titi, callsforchildrenltd@gmail.com. I can see a couple of your faces, Atinuke and others. Please, please put your camera off, I'm afraid. Don't worry, I'll get to see you hopefully on the 5th session. Please mute your microphone, so do switch off your camera. Raise hands if you want to speak. We're not really doing that, but you can put them, any questions or comments, in the Zoom group chat, and write your questions there, and of course respect others. I know you're all really respectful, so Atinuke, if you can please take off your camera for me. Thank you very much. We are going to do what we've always done. Please, please, please go on, get a new tab on your computer or your phone, type in slido.com, S-L-I-D-O. It will show you this screen that you're seeing right now, and underneath the hashtag, or next to the hashtag, if you could just write the words flawless, join an existing event, and then if you could please respond to this survey. This is really important because, as Titi said, Calls for Children offer various different courses that will help you and support you, and the way we can do that is just by knowing who you are in terms of what demographic, what age group, whether you're male or female. So please all do that now. If we could just spend a couple of minutes doing that. So go into www.slido.com, S-L-I-D-O, and if you could write flawless next to that hashtag, and you'll see this survey here. And if you could just check the box that represents you. I can see we've only got a couple of people in the room, and there's so many of us on board. So please quickly do that. I'll give you a couple of minutes to do that. Those who have done that already, you can use your spare time now to write your full name in the Zoom group chat. We'll just do that for 60 more seconds, and then we'll move on. For those who are just trying to do it, it's slido.com. We won't go on too far without you, but this information is really, really important. Thank you all. Okay. So that's slido.com. Again, just to introduce myself, because I'm sure there are a few people here who may just be joining for the first time. I'm Juliana Olayinka. I'm a journalist. I live in East London. I'm 34 years old. I've been to college and university, and I have worked all over the media, on TV, behind TV. I've written scripts, and I've given speeches at the United Nations, which is a really powerful non-governmental organization. So hopefully you guys are learning from me, because I definitely feel like I'm qualified to be teaching you all this afternoon. Just to give you a recap of what the Flawless Communicator is all about, we have, in the first session, defined what effective communication is, and hopefully we gave you a booster to build your confidence. Last week, which was so important, I really enjoyed that session. It was understanding your digital footprint and not just going online and putting anything out there, but really understanding that whatever you put online stays there. This week, we're going to be talking about writing, which is my favorite pastime. And next week, we'll be doing the other side of the story, which is debate, and understanding the difference between opinions and facts. And in the final session, we will be doing a final presentation. So we'll be looking at all of our homework. Hopefully I'll get to see some of your lovely faces, not just my dull face. And these are the goals. We want you to be able to become a descriptive, effective communicator, understand your online footprint, be able to write a clear descriptive piece of text, so not snoring off when you get homework like that, be able to present an argument, and understand the role of the media, which is absolutely crucial. I like to start off with a quote, because sometimes we can get down and we can think, oh, I can't do it. I know you can. Your value doesn't decrease based on someone's inability to see your worth. Your value does not decrease based on someone's inability to see your worth. you are worth it. And it doesn't matter what anybody thinks of you, as long as you know that. Okay, really important, guys. Okay, so this is about writing, this session, and I'm going to explain to you the different styles of writing because there are so many different styles. Have you noticed how some stories sound completely different from other stories? Yes? That's because words and text have different aims, different audiences, and different meanings. There are so many, but I've decided to really focus on 3 in this session. The first one, which I really find exciting, is creative writing. Creative writing is a form of writing where creativity is at the forefront of its purpose through using imagination, creativity, and innovation to sell a story through strong written visuals with an emotional impact. So these are the different types of creative writing styles: novels, which are storybooks, short stories, poetry, plays, songs, and TV shows or scripts. So if you're a creative writer and you like really, creating different characters, setting the tone, being really descriptive, this is the kind of place that your writing should be. So if you're somebody who enjoys doing that kind of writing, you could potentially write one of those options. Another style of writing is narrative writing. Narrative writing is writing that has a story, characters, conflict, and other essential parts of a good novel. Quite different to writing a poem, quite different to writing a short story. This is a really in-depth story where you're going to dig deep and you're going to find out and flesh out different characters and themes and styles. So to have a good story, you will need a character, and the characters are essential and are the driving force of your narrative. You're also going to have conflict in a good story. Conflict of any form, whether it's between characters, between elements in your setting, or even in your plot, is essential for narrative writing. It's a bit different than, creative writing, because if you're going to do a narrative writing, you've really got to flesh this out. And before you start writing, you're going to think, right, okay, so who is actually in this story? What's going to be the problem in this story? Those are the kind of things you need to think about with a narrative writing style. You're also going to have a plot. This is the main point of your story. Where is it all going and what's happening while we get there? I hope you guys have got pen and papers or you're screenshotting this, because this is really important and it's a lifelong lesson. Your setting. The setting of the story is really what determines its genre as well as its learning curve. Is your story going to be based in London, like East London, where I'm from? Is it going to be in Australia? Is it going to be in planet Mars? Is it going to be on the ocean? These are parts of what make up a good style of narrative writing. The theme. These are embedded into your story, even if you're not trying to have a theme. Narrative writing tells a story, and with any story, lessons are learned, and these become the themes of your story. So that's really important. So if you're having a creative style of writing, you can really write anything, can describe anything. But if you're a narrative writer, you've got to have a character, you've got to have a little bit of conflict, you need to have a plot, you've got to have a setting, and you must have a theme. Another style, and this is the final style that we'll be talking about today, is persuasive style. And I think for those of us on the line who are under 18, this is probably what you're doing when you're going to school. Persuasive writing is a written form of an oral debate used to convince or persuade a reader that your opinion... Oh, mute, whoever that was. Your opinion of a topic or cause is correct. For students, which I presume the bulk of you are, persuasive writing is important as it helps to improve skills such as writing structure, doing your research, and forming evidence based on opinions and arguments. A good persuasive text, so just think of an essay, just think that your teacher, whoever your English teacher is, says, right, I want you to hand in this essay. This is what you need to have in that essay. an introduction. This is an opening statement or a paragraph that clearly states the position of the writer on. Just unmuting myself there. So this is where you set out your opinion. So if your teacher says to you, right, Doug, do you believe that Shakespeare is the best writer that's ever lived on planet Earth? In your introduction, you would answer that question. First of all, you say, yes, I do believe that Shakespeare is the best writer that's ever lived on planet Earth. And then you explain the rest of your argument or your persuasion after that. Really important that you've got this structure. You then have the body of the persuasive text. The body forms the volume of the persuasion and includes an argument along with at least 3 evidences supporting each argument. Next week, we're going to be talking about debate and the difference between opinions and facts, but in a good persuasive text, in the kind of text that you will give to your teacher when she gives you an essay, you've got to have evidence. Even if you believe that, yes, Shakespeare was the best ever writer to live. Why? This is what you use in the body. So in your introduction, you tell them what you think. I think it is. But in the body, you explain the reasons why. And these are not your reasons why. You would have read, you would have researched, and now you're persuading your teacher. You're persuading that audience. Really important. If you want to start going up in your grades, the more evidence you have, the more books you read, the higher your grades are going to be. That's a top tip. You then have a conclusion. This is a strong and cohesive summary restating the topic and position, as well as summarizing the arguments. You also need to use persuasive words in a persuasive text. And these include words and phrases such as, for this reason, because, I believe, as evidence shows. I really want you to write those words down. And this is going to be really important. It may not be the most fun style of writing, but as you study, as you learn and grow up in school, a persuasive piece of writing is the most important piece of writing for your teacher and to improve your grades. So I want you to make sure you write that down. I'm sure you already know it, but those are the bread and butter of what's going to make a good persuasive text. And you've also got to use those words as well. Now, so you guys can wake up. I think one of the most fun parts of writing is creative writing. And how can you use creative writing? Where? In a blog. Before we go more into what I think a blog is, and before we go into our first activity, I'm going to play you this short video, which will explain to you what a blog is. And all of you, with permission of your parents, will be able to do your own blog and really get your content out there. So let me just play this video for you now.
What is a blog? Originally created from the words web and log, a blog is just that. A blog is the logging of one's thoughts, ideas, experiences, and more, all in one place on the web. You've probably seen them around, but what makes them so great? Well, blogs are easy to use, and with a few clicks, you can share thoughts, opinions, news, anything. Your blog is a staple of who you are, the ultimate expression of you on the web. Your blog theme is what controls how your blog looks. You can choose a theme and personalize it with your own colors and or background images to find a look that fits you. It's easy to change themes as well, so you'll always be sure that there's a look and feel out there that fits with your personality and makes it easy for visitors to find what they're looking for. Most blog themes are made up of 4 main sections: the header, the sidebar, the footer, and the body. The header is comprised of your blog's title or logo if you have one, and your main navigation menu. The menu is the way that your guests should be easily able to navigate the content of your site. Menus are a natural part of our web experience and should link readers to the various content and pages found on your blog. Sidebars. Blogs usually have them. This area generally includes widgets and things you want to highlight, such as your favorite links, the popular content on your blog, recent activity, subscription options, and social media tools, just to name a few. The footer rests at the bottom of your blog. This is typically used to display content that doesn't often change, but that you would like your readers to have easy access to, including links to read more about you or a link to a contact page. Lastly, the most important area of your blog is the body, the main content area. Usually, this is the primary reason people have come to your blog. It's where your thoughts and ideas come to life as you share them within the post or page the content lies within. Post? Page? What's the difference? Pages are different from posts. They're normally static, displaying standard content such as an About Me or a contact page. Posts, on the other hand, are all the good stuff, where you publish your thoughts. In a standard blog format, posts get shown on the main page of your blog, usually in an order that places the most recent and relevant information at the very top of the list. These are things like your daily updates or news about your niche topic. When a new story is posted, it appears at the top of your blog for the world to see. This used to be done in journals. Posts are an online version of a journal entry, made public for others to see. Best of all, posts give the option for a comment section as well, so others can add their thoughts to yours, share in a conversation with you, or just provide feedback about your blog. This brings a community element to blogs, making them a popular medium of expression and information sharing. Blogs make it easy to share images, video, and other types of media files, giving you complete freedom of creative expression. And now, with the popularity of mobile phones, your blog can be viewed anytime, from anywhere, in the palm of your hand. Blogs are for everyone, and people of all ages share on blogs every day for school, work, and play. But no matter what you want to do, blogging is a great way to connect with other people and get your ideas out there. So what are you waiting for? Get in on the fun and start blogging today.
Okay, guys, that was about blogging, and blogging is a really, really fun way. I would say it's probably the first step into writing and crafting your own ideas, putting your thoughts on paper, and it's a great way as well for people to take notice of you. It's a great way, as we discussed with social media last week, for people to take notice of your brand, take notice of the things you like, and it's a great way to craft your writing skills. The first activity then of this session today is I want you to tell me, what style of writing do you enjoy reading? You know, you can write this on pen and paper, or I'm happy for you to share this amongst ourselves on the Zoom group chat. What style of writing do you enjoy reading? I really enjoy reading news magazines, current affairs magazines. I like reading The Economist, for example. I love that. I also like reading novels. I love reading history books. Okay, we've got someone that's saying car magazines. I'd like to hear from you guys, not hear through my ear, but in the group chat. What style of writing do you enjoy reading? What was your favorite book and why? When I was a little bit younger, I loved to read R.L. Stine. I loved reading Judy Blume. There are so many different books. I also liked reading Roald Dahl. I've got to say my favorite book is probably Nelson Mandela's A Long Walk to Freedom. That was the former president of South Africa, and his autobiography. Historical fiction, we've got The Famous Five, Alex Rider, Noughts and Crosses. Really important to think that. What's your favorite book? If you had a blog, some of you may have a blog. If you were thinking of starting your own blog, so this is basically your forum, your platform to write. What would you call your blog? What would you call your blog? I'm not sure about what I'd call mine. What would you call yours? I'm looking forward to seeing some examples in the chat. Anybody? What 3 topics would you write about on your blog? Now, if it was me, I think I would definitely write about Africa. I think politics, a little bit of news, that's me. What about you guys? Okay, big boy blogs. That's a good name. Life, you'd write about Life Princess. Okay, that's good, that's important. Fashion, culture, books, yeah, I'd read that kind of blog. Okay, African culture and food, yum. Black Lives Matter, really topical at the moment. Inspiration, yes. Okay, who would be your target audience? Now that's really important because you have to know who you're writing for, because again, we've discussed this, haven't we, about, you know, different writing. If you pick up 2 different books, they're going to sound very different. And that's because the author, the writer, knows his or her audience. Who are you going to write for? Teenagers and young adults. Teen and adults, someone says they're going to write about diseases. Interesting. Technology, Generation Z. Okay, great. So you're getting it now. You're getting it, which is wonderful. Let's move on because time is not our friend. Okay, so blogging. I've honed in on blogging because I know persuasive writing, we've been in lockdown, we're going to be on summer holidays. So I wanted to focus on blogging because it's creative writing, it's fun, and it's something you can do from your laptop or your desktop computer or even your phone. And these are some tips for you. Okay. First of all, find a user-friendly platform. Blogging is so easy. And the good thing about the internet and the good thing about technology is that there are so many different types of blogging platforms out there. WordPress.org or WordPress.com. Make sure you got your pen and paper. These are really basic, really easy. They help you shape your theme. Even like you can see with what I've done with this presentation, I've used what I like. These blogging sites, they allow you to, you know, put your own colors, put your own music, put your own stamp. WordPress is really great for doing that. Gator is also another one. There's Blogger, there's Tumblr, and there's Wix. Wix is really great if you wanted to go that extra step and you don't want to blog, you actually want your own website. Wix is wonderful for doing that. And a lot of this stuff is absolutely free. You get to a certain point where you may have to pay, but at the start, you don't have to. You need to find a topic. We've discussed this, haven't we? I've said, for example, I'd be interested in African politics, African history, African news. What is your topic? Focus on a theme that you like and write about it. Write down at least 10 topics underneath the main theme and write about them one at a time. That's 10 different blog posts. 10 minutes of brainstorming ahead of time will make life so much easier when you're sitting down to write. Really important. So for me, I said African politics. Maybe if I was to then write down the topics, I might say, I want to write about Nigeria. I want to write about Zimbabwe. I want to write about South African girls. I want to write about Egypt and the pyramids. Once you've got your theme, it's important to spend time researching and planning, writing sub-themes, just so you know that, right, this is the way forward. This is really important, guys. Just 10 minutes of research makes the world of difference. You also need decent pictures, vital. And you need a good, strong headline, not too wordy. You can even see with me here, I've just put top 5 blogging tips. I don't need to write a full sentence. Write about yourself. I think somebody mentioned something like that in the chat room. They'll be writing about life. You'll be surprised by how many people are interested in your day-to-day activities. If you ever really do get stuck writing, then do this and it will fix all your problems. Easy. You know, just a nice picture of you out with your friends in Westfield, or maybe you're cooking with your mum in the kitchen. You've got a really nice picture. People like that. You can then say, this is what I ate. These are what the ingredients are. I know we had somebody say they want to write about food. People love this. People are interested. Look at how popular reality TV is. Read, read, read. Oh, goodness. Find 2 or 3 good blogs that interest you and read them. It's that simple. It's important that you familiarize yourself with writing styles to get inspired. There's no point trying to write if you're not interested in reading. The two just don't go together. The more you read, the more you understand the styles of writing, and it becomes easier for you. If you become a bookworm, all you want to do is write a book. All you want to do is write content. Please, guys, if you really want to go into this communications world, that is a vital tip. Start reading. Be consistent. Consistency is king, not just in communications, but across every sector. Make a personal schedule and stick to it. Most bloggers give up in 3 to 6 months, but the ones who don't make it. And that's because they're simply more consistent than others. Make consistency your goal. I don't think I need to go on about that because that should be clear. And have fun. Don't take blogging too seriously. If you stick to it with your consistency and work on your writing, you can meet a lot of interesting people and have a great time. Blogging is a great way as a teenager to get into writing. It's just a nice, you can own it. This is not something you need to hand into your teacher. This is just you putting your thoughts on paper and just sending it out to the world. And who knows, you can have 1 million people visiting your website every single month. That's crazy, right? Guys, we've got a break now. I know it goes so quick. Oh my goodness. 5 minutes break. It's 31. Should we come back at 35, which is like 4 minutes? You know, whilst you're in the chat, you can write your names, you can talk to me. But for those that do need to get up and go ease themselves or get a glass of water, please do that now. Now, this is really important. Writer's block. You can see the girl that I chose because we've all been there. And I think for the bulk of you, some of you might be like, nah, can't write, not interested in writing. They give you homework or coursework. You don't do it until the day before, or you're at lunch just trying to figure it out. It doesn't have to be like that, guys. That's why I've called this session Writing Made Easy, because it can be that simple. How do we break free from this mental block? First of all, the description of what a writer's block is, because it is a thing. Writer's block is the state of being unable to proceed with writing and or the inability to start writing something new. Some believe it's a genuine disorder, while others believe it's all in your head. And I'm of the thought where it's all in your head. You can do it. But if you think you can't, how do you get over that? You learn storytelling by reading or listening to stories. I mentioned this last time. You can't be a writer if you don't like reading. If you hate reading, writing and communication is not for you. Start reading. Read in the evening before you go to bed. Read at lunchtime. Read when you're on the bus. Find what you like reading. Not every book has to be boring. Not every magazine is not catered to your taste. There's so much out there. And the more you consume it, the better you will be at telling your own stories, because you get to understand the flow. Really important. Writing is a skill that gets better the more you practice. You all know the adage, practice makes perfect. It might sound boring, but there's truth to it. When something is, you know, like an adage, or something is like, oh, a common saying, it's a common saying because it's true. Write, 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 which is why we're focusing on blogging in this session, because it's so easy. You literally pick up a pen and write whatever you want. Ask for feedback. Other people see what you don't see. So if you're not sure about your writing style, put it out there. Write something, give it to your mum, give it to your sister, give it to your best friend, give it to your brother, put it on the internet, do an Instagram post, write something under it. If you're not sure, you think, oh God, you know, I don't think I'm great enough. Let somebody else see what you think. I've written some things before that I didn't think were great, and they were retweeted hundreds of times. They were commissioned. Really important, because you might not think you're that good and someone will think you're excellent. Write in simple terms. Don't overcomplicate sentences. Vital, important. Let me tell you that. There have been times when I've gone onto the thesaurus and I'm looking for the most difficult word. I don't want it to be great. I want to say stupendous. It's stupendous. It's wonderful. It's this. Sometimes writing shouldn't be like that. The more simpler it is to read, the more simpler it is to write. I think when we try to overcomplicate our writing style, that's when it becomes long and you're like, you know what, I can't do this. So please write in simple terms. Don't overcomplicate. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Really important as well. Really important. If you think, you know, I can't do it, go away and come back to it. The more pressure you put on yourself, the more you delay your deadline to the last minute, the worse your writing will be. Start early, give yourself time to breathe, put some nice music on, put your feet up, get yourself into a nice environment that's going to make your writing better. Don't write to please other people, really important. And this includes your persuasive writing for your teacher. Read the facts, do your research. Don't try and please Mrs. Jones or Mr. Smith. Please yourself. Please, guys. That's another one that I'm telling you is really important. That's a life lesson, okay? Now, what we are going to focus on, or we're going to look at, is Teen Vogue. Teen Vogue is the world's most popular blog. It started off as a print magazine. I'm sure you've all heard of Vogue. Have you heard of Vogue? If you have, can you just give me a Y or a yes, please, if you've heard of Vogue? Okay, good. Right. So Teen Vogue is a subsidiary of that. It's for younger people, but they just are now completely online. And it's the most popular online blog in the world. It launched in 2003. The current editor is a very young lady, a Black African-American lady called Lindsay Peoples-Wagner. The content was initially about fashion and celebrities. If you think of Vogue, that's what you think. But as they started putting out the content, they realized that we can expand. So now Teen Vogue also includes politics, it includes current affairs. They started with an audience, but when they started seeing the interest, they expanded. That's why it's good to have a topic. And remember, we spoke about the 10 different topics. So if you've got your 10 different topics underneath, there might be one that explodes and you know, right, that's my audience. That's what Teen Vogue did. The website has 8 million unique visitors each month. Unique. That's 8 million. That is a whooping number. Once you're in that territory, you're a multimillionaire. Let me tell you that, you know, blogs, blogging, there can be rewards. Now they've had so many different cover models. This is Gigi Hadid, who's a supermodel, very young, but they've also had Serena Williams, the tennis star, Billie Eilish. I'm sure you all know Billie Eilish. Do you know her? Because my daughters love her. Dua Lipa, the singer, Hillary Clinton, the former First Lady. She also was the first woman to run for the presidential election in 2017, and Chance the Rapper. So they've had a wide variety of people. I've got a behind the scenes video to show you guys now of a lady called Alyssa Reed, a really young girl who was the assistant, the senior assistant to the editor-in-chief at the time. It's important for you to see this because if you do want a career in communications, whether you want to be in TV like me, whether you want to write in magazines, whether you want to have your own website, whether you want to have your own production company, because let me tell you now, you guys can do that. It's just, this is a nice way of you seeing what it's like behind the scenes, because it's not just going to be sitting at your desk. It's going to be really exciting. So let's play this.
I'm probably one of the only people on staff that has to interact with every single person throughout every single day. So it's kind of great to be the assistant to the editor-in-chief because you get a glimpse of every single aspect of the magazine. I'm Alyssa Reeder, I'm 24 years old, and I'm the assistant to the editor-in-chief at Teen Vogue. One big beast of the job is her scheduling. She's constantly meeting with stylists and editors, publishers, photographers, models. And then the other half is I get to write and edit the US Space and Contributors Notes, which is my favorite part to do because I get to choose anyone that works on the issue, like a stylist, a photographer, a model, someone that works at Teen Vogue, and I get to spotlight them and just highlight what they do and what they do for this issue. I've got to spotlight Lena Dunham because she wrote an article for us, or Justin Bieber. I studied journalism, I studied literature and writing at the New School, and all through high school I was just a bookworm, and it kind of filtered into magazine writing because it was so fast-paced, and then I was just drawn to style. So the fact that I get to like report on it and work with people that are also interested in that every day is really cool. I live with 3 boys, and I'm constantly taking their clothes. I like my ripped-up boy jeans and baseball shirts. I love fun pants. I love color, and I love something where you just feel comfortable. My advice to someone who wants to work in fashion magazines is to intern and get your foot in the door as early as possible. I interned at Vogue, and I interned in marketing at Teen Vogue while interning with Jason Wu in PR. So I was kind of just juggling a million internships all through college. You really build a huge network of friends and coworkers and peers when you're at these kind of magazines, and you're constantly meeting these really talented, really motivated young people. The best part about working for Amy is that she is so down to earth. And for someone in her position who is a veteran in the industry and so talented, she's just incredibly warm. Being her assistant is sort of just more of a training process, kind of like a fast track to becoming an editor. And she doesn't want you to just be an assistant. So if there's something else you're interested in, she like really pushes you to pursue that while you're assisting her. And it's really nice to be around someone every single day who you admire on a personal level, but then you also can really respect and learn from on a professional level. Hi, I'm Melissa, and you're watching Teen Vogue.
Okay, did you guys enjoy that? I need some whys, I need some yeses, I need some yeses in the chat box. Okay, I'm sure those yeses are coming soon. Guys, I'm sure you heard that Alyssa, she said, you know, she was a bookworm, meaning she read books. She studied journalism. She had a great network of people. She liked fashion, so when she had her brothers or she spent time with them, she took ideas of what they wore. Guys, this is all so important, you know. The last sessions we've had about what communication is, about what your social media should look like, about using a blog to start your creative writing. This is so important if you want to get a career or you want to improve your communications. And I'm telling you for a fact that you all can. This now brings us to the assignment of this week. Titi did mention at the beginning of the session that she has received your assignments. I'm sure not all of you, but for most of you, which is wonderful. And we are going to pick and select, and hopefully on week 5, everybody is going to be able to select a piece of their best work that they'll be presenting to us. So don't worry about that, because I really want to see your social media plans, and I hope you have been adopting them. So what we're going to be doing this week is we're going to be creating our blog template. For those who have permission from your parents, by golly, go ahead and start working on your blog. For those who are not sure they're there yet, this template is going to help you. It's again going to be an A4 page. Can't be too wordy, because again, we're not overcomplicating our words. We're writing in short, clear sentences, and we're going to be getting rid of the rubbish and just putting the facts down. I want to know the name of your blog. What is your blog going to be called? Look at Teen Vogue, such a great name. What's yours called? I want to know what 3 topics you're going to write about. I want to know the 3 topics. So with Teen Vogue, they've kind of got 4. They've got fashion, they've got celebrities, they've got politics, they've got current affairs. You could add beauty to that. They've got loads. What are your 3 things? Who is your target audience? Clearly for Teen Vogue, it says it on the tin, isn't it? Teenagers. Who are you going to target? I also then want you to write a 250-word post, and I want you to include a picture. Really important. 250 words, to me that's short. That wouldn't be enough to hand into your class teacher, but for a post online, I think that's good enough. And this would basically be your first post. It could be you, like I said, cooking with your mum in the kitchen and putting a picture of the food. It could be you, if you're living in England, you know that the lockdown measures have been reduced. It could be you meeting your friends for the first time. You've got a nice picture of your shoes and you just say what you did. It could be you going out to play football for the first time. It could be you talking about Black Lives Matter as somebody put down. It could be you talking about cars as somebody put down. I want a 250-word post and include a picture. You've got to do that. Remember, I've explained to you as well that you can do it. Doesn't matter where you start simply. And if we go back to our blogging tips, if you get stuck, just write about yourself, write about your day. We've still got that 5 o'clock deadline, haven't we? 5 o'clock deadline to hand it into the calls number 4, callsforchildrenltd@gmail.com. I'm really looking forward to this, guys. And this one is really important. Please, if you want to learn from this, you've got to do these assignments. And this is fun. I'm even going to do this. Right, now I'm going to share the floor, which I love doing because I wish I could see all of your lovely faces. But we're actually going to hear from 2 individuals who have been really patient, because they had it in their elevator pitch on time. Before they start, I'm going to quickly explain that elevator pitch refers to a pitch's duration, because literally you should finish it by the time you got to the top of your floor to wherever you're going. And it's the kind of pitch you would give to somebody. Let's say you were a footballer or you're an aspiring footballer, and you see somebody, if you can mute your phones for now, if you see somebody who is a top football manager, let's say you see Ronaldo in the lift and you're a young footballer, what are you going to say to Ronaldo? Not that he's going to take a selfie with you, but what are you going to say where he's going to be like, right, I'm going to put you in touch with the scout at Real Madrid. You've got to say something that's going to make someone say, oh my God, this person is brilliant, I want them. So we've been doing that, and it's been ongoing. We've got 2 that we're going to hear from today. The first person is Sadiq. Sadiq, thank you. Can we hear from you, please? I'm looking forward to hearing your elevator pitch.
Hi.
Hey, Sadiq.
Okay. So, good day, Mr. Gove. I'm Sadiq Afinoy, a Year 9 student from Cambridge. I think, as Minister of Education, more must be done to ensure that there is broader representation in the history curriculum to stop the perceived glorification of the slave trade and colonialism. While I understand the need to teach history to avoid repeating past mistakes, more needs to be done to offer a balanced version of events. Thank you for your time.
Wow, Sadiq. Yes, please, let's have a cup of tea sometime in my office with your parents, and we can discuss the ideas that you have about broadening our curriculum. That's the kind of response that you would get to that pitch, Sadiq. Well done. And can I just say, that's a really important, timely project as well. So good for you. That's excellent. Thank you, Sadiq. I would also like to hear, thank you, Sadiq, you can mute now. Can I also hear from Joshua, please? Joshua? Joshua says he emailed a voice recording of my speech. That's no worries, Joshua. Let's hear it live. Do you have it live, Joshua? Unmute yourself, Joshua. Okay, so if what you can do, Joshua, because I can see you on the group chat, say yes or no if you want to read it out live for us. Just give me a yes or a no. Okay, no. Okay, that's fine, Joshua. No worries. I think we've got a couple of more minutes. If one other person is confident enough. Dara? Okay, is Dara on the line? Dara, if you're here, unmute yourself. We've got a couple of more minutes. Okay, Dara, unmute yourself and talk to me. Give me your pitch.
Okay, wait. Can I go get it?
If it's not far.
Yes, not.
Okay, Dara. Okay, so whilst you're doing that, mute yourself. So just so you know, guys, these elevator pitches are a vital part, not just for communications, but for your entire school life and into your career. And it will change every year as you expand, as you become more inspired. You may not, so we just heard from Sadiq, and she was talking about the school curriculum. As she goes on, she may widen it or broaden it. But what is your elevator pitch now? Because sometimes opportunities only knock once. And if you're in the right place at the right time, you've got to have something about you that isn't just about taking a selfie with a celebrity or somebody important. It's not just about standing from afar and seeing them and being like, oh, wow, that's that person. It's having the confidence to tap them on their shoulder and say, hi, my name is this, and this is what I can do for you. Dara, are you ready now? So just as we're waiting, we'll wait 1 more minute for Dara. As we're waiting, I just want to see in the group chat who has done last week's homework on social media and who has actually started thinking differently about social media. Who has actually started to think that, you know what, I need to take this seriously. Brilliant. Elizabeth, Angie, Tumi and Tony, Sadiqa, good. Good, brilliant, Marvella. Praise. So have you guys started to think about not posting rubbish and starting to think that, you know what, this social media, it's like putty in my hand. This is my brand. Yes, brilliant, brilliant. I'm starting to see that now. And who is thinking that they may start blogging? Oh, brilliant. Angie said she changed her bio. That's great. Idris, you're going to start blogging? Brilliant. Oh, wonderful. Dara, are you ready? Because we cannot wait too much longer. I think Dara's ready. Okay, Dara, you know, take the floor. Let me hear it. Unmute yourself and go.
Okay. My name is Dara Owolabi. I am a hard-working student with big plans for my future. I aspire to be an aeronautic engineer due to my interest in maths and physics and my curiosity for how planes run. To improve my teamwork skills, I participated in many team sports and activities, which have opened my eyes to the importance of working with others. I also partook in student council, and that enabled me to value the opinions of others and become creative in my thinking. I acknowledged things that require more work within myself and realized my confidence began to diminish, therefore causing me to enter the Speak Out Challenge with the hopes of representing my school. This built up my confidence and with speaking with others and being able to voice my opinion. Thank you.
Dara, I am extremely impressed with your self-confidence, your ability to improve yourself, your knowledge. I would love you, if you could, some afternoons to come into my workshop and do some interning with us. That would be wonderful. Please send me an email. See, that's the kind of response. That was me playing, Dara. But that's the kind of response. You can mute yourself now. Well done, congratulations. That's the kind of response Dara would get if she got to meet, let's say, somebody that worked at the European Satellite Agency. Let's say she happened to meet somebody at NASA and she had the confidence to say that. Prepare, guys, prepare. It's part of communications, it's part of your self-confidence, and we're not letting you off. We're still gonna do more. And hopefully next week we can do 3, because I want us to all be able to share this. But you know what? I'm so sad.
Good afternoon. My name is Faithful.
Oh, that's me. That's my fault. That's from last week. Okay, guys, it's the end of the session. Before you go, please go back into Slido. Please, guys, it's really important that you do this, because, again, there's going to be so many more of these events that Titty and Calls for Children are putting on for you. And we want you to describe it. There's only a couple of you on there at the moment, and I know there are so many here. Somebody's asked very lastly, do the elevator pitches have to be about a particular subject? No, they're about you. They're about you. So yes, go in there, give us your feedback. It's so great to have you guys. You cheer up my Saturday afternoons greatly. We've got a couple of more sessions together. Do your homework. Do your homework. Somebody's asking what the code, Angie, is #flawless. Yeah, well done to everybody. Somebody's saying well done to Sadiqa and Dara. You were brilliant. Can we listen to this recorded session? I believe you can. Once the sessions are over, Titty will give you all the feedback you need to know. Don't forget, before you log off, go to Slido, put your feedback in, questions, queries, put them all to callsforchildrenltd@gmail.com, which you can see. Thank you all so much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Please may the login details for Slido be posted. Yep, it's #flawless. It's #flawless. Not sure I have the ability to go back to this. But once you go to www.slido.com, the hashtag is flawless. Titty's put it in there.